audio, the second one screen share. Are you good with that? Hello.
Yes, we are giving the message, but you are not getting.
Yeah, somewhere I see some issue today. Not sure why, but actually, yeah, you are audio. Yeah, please confirm in the chat. Otherwise, if I can't hear you, so am I audible to you then?
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's fine now. Right. Let's continue then. Yesterday we were talking about this weight concept. I hope you should be clear with that weight if I'm not wrong. Okay, just a minute, friends. Yeah, sorry, friends, there was some noise coming from outside. Yes, so we had discussed about weights yesterday. I believe we are familiar with two different types of weights. These are important as well, implicit weight and explicit weight. And we have seen different how to apply, implement this implicit weight and how to implement this explicit weight. And one more thing is we need to discuss one more type of weight from yesterday's session, that is fluent weight. So let's discuss this and complete this topic and jump to a new topic altogether. Okay, what is this fluent weight? Let us just start discussing. This is simple. Fluent weight is like implicit weight and explicit weight. It is also a kind of weight. But the point is here we have a couple of options to implement this fluent weight. One is we can mention or we can specify the total timeout, like max time till an element is found, that we can apply. This can be specified by for both implicit weight and explicit weight. So this is something common for all weights. So what is the timeout period we have to specify if you want to apply any kind of weight, so that we are familiar, right? So that is one thing. Second thing, polling frequency. Polling frequency in sense, it's simple. You can see here, it's clearly mentioned here. Time frame in which each element is checked for. When we apply this this weight concept or weight scenario. So what your Selenium automation does is for every some few microseconds, some 100 microseconds, or for every half second, it keeps on checking for the web element if it is loaded in the web page or not, if the web page got refreshed or not. So implicitly, this will automatically keep checking for that, which will keep checking this. Selenium automation will keep checking, looking for that if that web element is loaded into the web page or not. This keeps on check. This is verified. This keeps on verified by the this automation. So that's what for polling frequency is. So polling frequency is simple, friends. It's a time frame in which element is checked for after how much time this Selenium automation is checking if this web element is loaded into the web page or not. That is the point here. Maybe you can ask me a question. We didn't understand this, Manoram. What is this checking thing? What is this? This is not clear. So, excuse me. It's simple, friends. So once you apply this weights, this implicit weight or any kind of weight, your automation will keep on. Suppose you mentioned that you specify that wait time is some 10 seconds. So what your automation will does is it will try to verify if that particular web element is loaded in the page for every half second, for every 1 second, for every 100 milliseconds, 500 milliseconds, something like that. So this is what we call pole frequency. Is this clear? I hope this should be clear. Pole frequency is simple. Let me summarize on this. It is the time frame in which element is checked for by the Selenium automation if it is loaded into the web page or not. That's it. That we can specify here explicitly using this Fluent wait. Right. Let me just show you that. So this is wait automation. Here we have already discussed about two other two types of waits. What are those other two types of waits, friends? One is implicit wait. The second one is explicit wait. And the third one is what is this? This one, Fluent wait. Let's discuss about this. Sorry, this is the explicit wait. And the third one is Fluent wait. This is the Fluent wait. So you can remove the comments here. So how to implement this Fluent wait? It's simple. You can see here. There is a class called Fluent wait class. And this wait is a interface. You can see here. Let me just show you the declaration. So you can see here, this is an interface. So this is an abstract interface in Java. So the point is, as we know in Java, a superclass reference can refer to a subclass object. Likewise, an interface reference can refer to any of its implementation class objects. So in that way, you can see here, this 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 is an interface which is used to implement this wait scenario. So now, and the implementation object, that implementation class object is assigned to this interface reference. Okay. So what is this Fluent wait? Fluent wait is something which we apply to implement our Fluent wait scenario in our automation. I hope this should be clear for all of us, friends. Right. This is the idea. And this is actually a generic one. So we are mentioning here in the Angular brackets WebDriver. Right. So this in Angular brackets, this WebDriver represents that we are actually handling this Fluent wait by having this as a parameter, WebDriver as a parameter. Okay. So that's the point here. And then on top of this, once we create an object for Fluent wait, on top of this object, we are applying what is that? The timeout period. What is the timeout period here? The timeout period is 15 seconds here. You can see here. And then after that, we are applying again one more. What is this? Polling. Polling means we are saying that we are specifying to the automation to check for this particular web page if it is loaded or not for every 3 seconds. What we are asking? We are asking to check for the web element if it is loaded or not. Suppose we are applying this for this one. Suppose assume that this is applied here, and we are applying a mouse automation here, a simple mouse automation. So now, what is it here? We are asking this polling frequency. So we are saying that to check for that web element to be loaded into the web page for every 3 seconds. That's what we are saying. Altogether, we mentioned or we specified our this wait period, this scenario should be applied for 15 seconds. This wait period should be applied for 15 seconds. Fine. In that 15 seconds, again, we are asking for every 3 seconds, see that that web element is loaded into the web page or not. If it is loaded, then it's fine. So this is the poll frequency we are asking. Polling every represents the poll frequency. So I hope this should be very clear because I just made it simple in simple terms. So this is common for us. Till this is almost same for all different types of wait periods. It might be implicit wait or it might be explicit wait or any type of wait. So we have to mention this duration thing. That is important, right? And then and to implement this particular waiting scenario or waiting period, this Fluent wait, we use this Fluent class and create an object. On top of that, we try to apply this timeout period. On top of that, we try to apply polling frequency. On top of that, we are saying that you can see here, ignore. We are asking to ignore no such element exception. And this is for how much time this should be ignored. This this exception should be ignored for 15 seconds. After 15 seconds, still if that web page or web element is not loaded into the web page, then this automation can go and raise this exception, no issues. Then, but till that time, what is that? We are specifying this fluent weight, not to not to raise any exception, no such element exception. That's what this is all about, friends. I hope this should be clear. So this is simple about this fluent weight. The advantage with fluent weight here is, friends, we can mention this polling frequency generally. So you can see here. So to check for that web element, if it is loaded into the web page or not. So that's what this is all about, friends. Right. And at the same time, we can also specify that to ignore this no such element exception till 15 seconds until this web element is loaded into the web page. And you know why all this waiting period, all this? Because sometimes while loading a website or a web page, there might be some loading issues. So it might take some time to load due to some network issue or due to some other issues like hardware issue or something. At such times, even though the website might load little late, but our automation doesn't wait for that website to load. So it will automatically and it doesn't wait until that web page is loaded. And this automation will keep implementing all the steps that were present in the automation. And during that time, if any web element is not loaded in that web page or website, then it will automatically raise no such element exception. So to avoid that scenario, we are implementing all these different kinds of weights. So we are already familiar with the remaining two different weights. And this is what, friends? A fluent weight. So what is the advantage with fluent weights? Simple. Now you can see here timeout we have to mention for all different weights, for implicit weight or for explicit weight, but polling frequency, which is something specific to fluent weight, right? And then that we specified here. I hope this is clear for all of you. Is this clear? Can I get an S from you? I mean, can you please confirm if you are clear with this or if there is any confusion, friends? Can you please confirm in the chat box? Not sure if you are audible to me. Am I audible?
Yes, Manoram, we gave the message.
Okay, sorry, I am not actually receiving messages for some reason. Okay, there should be slight network issue. Okay, I got it, Sunita. Thank you. But it's okay. Thanks for confirming. This is the idea. That's all. Let's apply this automation. And now you can see for this particular mouse image, this wait period is applied. And that too, this wait period is applied for how many seconds? 15 seconds. Let us run this automation and see and how it works. Right. So now right click and then apply Java. Let's run this automation. Excuse me, friends. Yeah, it was still at the mouse thing. Now you can see it ran to the mouse. Now it's running to the mouse. Sorry, I told it ran to the mouse. Now it has moved to the mouse thing after waiting for some time. And finally the automation stopped here. So this is how it works, friends. This is how the automation keep going. I hope this is clear for all of you. Understood now? Right. So that's all about this one, friends, about different types of wait scenarios in Selenium automation. I hope you are clear with all this, right, friends? So the first one is implicit wait, second one explicit, the third one fluent wait. These are very important topics for interviews, friends. These are very important topics for interviews. Just go through and try to explore more on these weights. Anyhow, maybe in future we do workshops on this Selenium projects. At that time, we try to cover these scenarios as well in the projects as well. Okay. So that's it, friends. Now coming to this, you can see here, this is clear for us. What is this? we are trying to what this particular block of code is doing. So here we are done with the weights topic. The next topic I'm going to talk today is about find elements. So let me just open my notepad, as usual notepad. So weight is completed. So we have discussed about three different weights. What is that? Three different weights: implicit, explicit, and I'm just summarizing. I'm just only summarizing. I'm not trying to again uh, discuss this again. Just summary. That's all. So here we have implicit and then explicit and then fluent weight. So we are done with this. Now we are jumping to another topic. What I say is this one: find elements. We had two different. So to identify any web element, we have two locating strategies. One is using this driver.find element and second one find elements. There are two different strategies, two different methods. Otherwise, let me reframe my statement, friends. We have two different methods. So now one is find element. This is what we are using since the beginning versus find elements. Now here, this one is quite familiar for us because we are using it since the beginning of our automation, Selenium automation. This locate, this is used to locate one particular web element. So that is what it is all about. Suppose if you want to find group of elements in a web page, so then we apply this find elements. But here the catch is the important condition is this is applied on a similar kind of web elements. So I'll just take, I will see that with a small example. So when you apply find elements, usually this is applied on same type of web element. Suppose you see here in the code. So we are trying to say that find elements by XPath mouse image. Means we are trying to find out all the web elements, which is nothing but mouse here. So all the mouse images that are present in that web page. So we want to find that. So that's what find elements does. So this what it will do. If it is one element, it returns web element. But here when we say find elements, in this case, it is not just returning one web element or one mouse image details, but it is returning all mouse details that are present in that web page. And here every mouse image is one web element. Similarly, suppose some 20 mouse images are there, then we can treat them as 20 mouse web elements. Now, if you want to select all those mouse images or find all those mouse elements, then in one shot, then we apply find elements. We don't apply find element. Find element is used to find one element at a time, whereas find elements is used to find multiple elements, multiple web elements. If I say elements in sense, multiple web elements in one go, in one shot. So that's what this is, friends. I hope you are clear now. So it's a very simple thing. Again, see, there is nothing really complex to understand, really difficult to understand. Simple. This just finds or locates one web elements in a web page. And this helps us to find group of web elements in a web page. So that is the quick difference between find element and find elements. And the way we implement, we try to locate either one web element or either group of web elements is same, is almost same. We don't have any big difference. Okay. So that's it, friends. And one more small this thing, friends. If I am not audible, just please tell me in the this one, friends. Which one in the this one? Mic, because I am not seeing your response in the chat box. Hope that is fine. Okay, friends. Let's do it now. Let's again continue to the topic. Now, find element what it does. I hope this should be very clear for you, friends. find element. It is used to locate one web element at a time, right? And then it returns what? After locating, this method returns what it returns? It returns a web element object. So, and returns a web element object, just a single web element object. So that is what find element does. I hope this is clear, right? It's like you have gone to a apple garden. You ask the gardener for one apple. That is find apple, right? So what he does, he just try to locate for one apple, one web element, and then what? And he returns that one web element or one apple. That's it. Second scenario is find elements. Means you are asking for group of apples. We are asking for many apples. Then that is find apples. What we can say, something like find elements. You can see here. This time we are asking to locate what, not one element, for multiple or group of web elements and returns. See, I'm just trying to make it very clear for you. And this locates group of web elements. Probably in this scenario, group of web elements, usually in this scenario, it will be of same type. Of same type. I didn't check it for different types. Maybe I'll just my understand whatever I see is we apply this for a similar type of group of elements. Suppose this is find element is applied to locate all mouse images, all books images, all God's images, something like that. I hope this is clear now. So it is used to locate find elements is used to locate group of web elements of same type at a time and returns. Here it doesn't return one web element. So what is here? It doesn't return one web element, but returns a list of list of web elements. Why each mouse is one web element, and you are returning group of web elements. And in Java, the best thing to handle this kind of scenarios is using list concept. It's not just we always use. We can apply set. We can apply map. There are different collections in Java, but in this scenario, list is the most used collection. So, and this is technically represented like this. So if it is list of web elements, it's technically represented like this, friends. This is the simple idea. I hope you are clear with this now. Now, how to locate that mouse image? Already we had discussed this in the yesterday's session. To locate mouse, already we have applied that locating strategy. What is that locating strategy? So somewhere we have mentioned that. See here, to locate that mouse, this is the locating strategy. How simple, friends? You can see here now. Suppose you open Amazon now. So this is our Amazon, and click here something like mouse. Let me just show you. Click here. This is entered automatically by our keyboard action. You know that very well by using send keys method. Automation will do that automatically. Now we are searching for a mouse here. So to search for mouse image, what is that? So this is how we can try to get that mouse thing here. Okay, what we can do one thing. We can simply right click on this and then inspect. Somewhere you can find this mouse related image. Let me just you can see here somewhere. Yeah, these are all associated with div tags. First thing, observe that carefully, friends. And along with div tag, what you have to do, you have to apply which class. You can see these are associated with class here. You can see here all this. Just a minute. So you can see these are associated with class tags here, class attribute, sorry. So now we have to identify through class attribute. I'll just try to give you this. this simple pattern, we can do one thing. We can copy this pattern from here and search it here. I did search and put it there, and just showing you to quickly just jump to the this to quickly get some quick idea. See here, friends. Now you can see this is trying to point which one, the first mouse itself. You can see here, and here we have to check. We have to go by your parent tag, and from parent we are going to the child tag. You can see here. So we are locating first parent by applying this. What is it? How you are applying here? You are applying div, starting from div, you are moving there, and then class. What is that class? Something like somewhere you can see here this PUISG hyphen row. Somewhere you can find that. Excuse me, friends. Let me just show you. If you can see anywhere, you can also point me. Where is it? Somewhere you can, because there are multiple images with this. When you just say PUISG row, all 22 mouses are there. We are trying to get all those. This just point out to the mouse itself. Somewhere you can find that class thing. You can just try to. I'll do one thing. First, I'll remove this image so that you get this. First, you can see here. This is the div tag, which is starting with this, which represents this start of mouse here. This is the one. So this PUISG hyphen row represents all that mouses attached to that div tag. So that div has all these mouses. Under that, now what we are saying, we are asking for images of mouses. When we say images of mouses, we have 22 mouse images. All that is being selected here. You can see now. So this is the div tag which try to locate your all that div, that particular div which has mouses associated with that. And after that, you try to declare this IMG. It try to show you all those mouses there in the website. I hope this is clear. Mouse images. Sorry, friends. When I say mouses means mouse images. Now we have to read all these mouse images and display. There are so many mouse here, and display some mouse image, something like second from the bottom, third from the bottom, or last from the bottom, something like that. We have to, I mean, display those mouse images. Of course, we don't know what is the exact name of that image, but we want to see some mouse image, random mouse details, something at the bottom. Something like the last from the bottom, or second one from the bottom, or third one from the bottom, something like that. A small automation. Yeah, finally, I'm able to see some chart here. See, there is some network problem here. Now I see your chart. Okay, fine. Oh, did you get the problem statement clear, friends? Is this problem statement clear for all of you? Whatever I try to discuss now. Is this clear for all of you, friends? Just can you please confirm in the chat? This first understanding problem is important. It's not like, yeah, thank you. Once you understand problem, solution is easy. But getting that problem is very important thing. So you are clear with problem. So what I do, let's try to apply. The scenario is simple. Now I hope you are clear with all this as well, right? The scenarios to make you understand find elements versus find elements. So that is the scenario. And now you got clear idea about what is find element, what is find elements, what happens when we apply find element, and what it returns. What happens when we apply find elements and what it returns. See, so a list of web elements. Okay, so that is the scenario. Now how to play with it? Simple. Now you know, first you need to locate those images or whatever you want to locate, that group of items from the web elements from the web page by applying this locating strategy, a pattern. Now that is fine. Now we have a XPath pattern to locate which one, all different mouses that are there in that web page. Now fine. Now we are trying to play with it. So you can see here we have assigned that path to a string variable here. This is the best approach. Instead of declaring all these patterns hard coded here. So instead of hard coding somewhere at random places, instead of this approach, if you declare all your patterns in the beginning and assign to some string variable, that is the best recommended one, so that you can reuse it wherever you want just by passing those variables. I'm just giving you a quick optimization for your code. Maybe in the next couple of sessions, I'll try to show you how to play with that as well. Okay, how do we can simplify all these things? So now that is the idea. Now, anyhow, see this pattern is assigned here. Just remember, friends, and that variable name is mouse image, and I am using that. Now here, this is the block that is dealing with the finding all those mouse images, right? And now you are very clear this time in this code. So now you forget about weights thing. Weights is just a general concept now. For us, it's just something known concept. So we are not going to focus anything on weights from here onwards. If you see any weight statements in the code means you now you can just understand, okay, we are applying some kind of weight strategy here. That's all, friends. That should be your understanding. As we this is a known scenario now. Now the scenario is about this one, applying this find elements. Now in this find elements, we are just applying a XPath strategy and passing that pattern to locate all mouse images. Right, this particular pattern just returns all those mouse images. If you go to this, you can see here when we pass this pattern, it is locating 22. We are having here 22 matches for mouses, means that represents all that mouses that has been shown in the this Amazon search. Right, friends? So now what we do, we are just applying a small scenario. So this one, when we apply this method, what this method does, it try to locate all those images and returns what? It returns, what is it? A list of web elements. The return type of this method, what is the return type of this one? Find elements. You can see here. What is it? At the beginning, you can see this represents return type of that method. This find elements returns list of web element, list here. In that case, at the left side of assignment here, your class should be list, a generic list with web element as a parameter inside that. Is this clear, friends? And this is a simple reference. That's all. So as this method is returning, see, just always remember, if you don't have any idea about anything, right? So what we can do here is, friends, sorry, friends. So what we can do here, just put your cursor here on that method. Then it will show you the signature of that method. This is the signature. This is the method, and the start one here is the return type. And how what we should assign this method. So this is the return type. So at the left side of assignment, you have to declare a similar class or similar interface or similar this thing here, and assign this object that is written by the methods we apply here. Now this method returns a list object with web element. So we declare a list of web element here, and then a reference which suits our requirement. That this is user defined. You can give whatever you want here. As we are dealing with mouses, we just declare the reference name as all mouse images. That's all, friends. I hope this is clear for all of you, friends. So that's all about this one. Now, after this, what is that we are doing? This statement, what it does, it's just find out, it just find all mouse images and returns that in the form of a list. And that is assigned to the list of web elements here. This assigned to this reference here. Now, after that, what we are doing now? We are trying to locate the last but one mouse image. You can see here. Otherwise, last image you can see. Or on that list object, you can see this is the reference on this list object. What we are doing, get is the method that is there in the list class, and we are passing a simple logic here. What is it? All mouse images dot size. Returns the size of this, size of this list here. This list might have some 22 or 23, 24 or something. Maybe if you want to know that, you can print it and see as well. What is the size of list here? If you want to know exactly how many mouse images are returned to this list, that if you want to know, you can simply print it. So you can simply say the size of list is something like this. Maybe if you print it, then you understand how many images, I mean, return to this list image, this one, this list object, sorry, right? So print that size. Now here, what you are saying, you are just saying that list reference dot size represents, that gives total number of elements that are there, web elements that are there in the list. And size minus one means it just represents, we are just saying minus one means last one. We are trying to search for last one. Why we say minus one? Because the index starts with 0, ends with size minus one. So that's why the index will be there. Suppose if there are 22 elements, the index of list will be 0 to 21. And we cannot say 22. If you specify 22, it raises an exception saying index out of bounds exception, something like that. So to avoid that error, we should say minus one here. I hope this statement is pretty clear for you. Why we are declaring this. This is get method gets some, returns some web element from the mouse. Sorry, I think this is a, sorry, from the list. So this particular method returns a web element from a list. And which web element from it returns? It returns the last web element based on the index we specify here. Get element usually takes an index. See this statement. Let me decode the statement so that you are very clear with this. So when we talk about it, so this get method takes index as a value. It takes index as a value. So usually list is something, a linear data structure which has indexing. So it is a linear data structure. So and this, and the indexing starts from 0 to size minus 1. Usually the index of this list starts from like in Python. If you remember, we had discussed a similar thing for list in Python. It's almost same, but the way this is implemented in Java is little different. That's all, friends. The concept is same. 0 to size minus 1. If you try to go for 0 to, suppose if the list is, let me just quickly give you, if the list is 10, then you have to, this indexing is from 0 to 9. Now you have to specify any index from 0 to 9 within this range. Suppose you assume that the list is size is 10 and then you pass 10 as an index, then this leads to index out of error, I mean bounds exception, something like that, if not exactly the same exception. It raises something in out of bounds exception. Why this index doesn't exist? That's why if you see in the code here, we are saying that mouse images size, that list size minus 1. Why that minus 1? Because the index starts from 0, ends with size minus 1. So that's why to accommodate that last index. So we just say minus 1 here. If you have a question like why this minus, I hope this is clear now. Now that is why this minus 1 here. And why, what we are passing here, we are passing index by getting size, and we are passing that size minus 1 represents the last index of the list, and that is passed to the get method, and this method returns that particular web element details to this reference to the web element. This returns what? This particular method returns web element last mouse image details, and that is also a web element, right? So that's why we are assigning it to a web element reference here at the left side. So this method returns a mouse web element, and that is assigned to this web element here. That too, which web element is this? This particular method is returning last mouse image detail. So we are mentioning that like this, the reference like this. But inside it is returning a web element, even though it is last mouse or first mouse or middle mouse, all these are web elements. So that's why when this method returns an object, that is obviously a web element object. So in that case, we have to assign that object to a web element reference. See here. So that's why we are doing this. And finally, once that is done, once that web element is returned, what should we do? If you want that mouse details, you have to click on this mouse or not, friends. See here. What is this? Some mouse details. Suppose it's last one we are saying something. It will automatically pick it. Assume that this one. So if you want to get details of this mouse, we have to click on it, right? So that's why we are just saying that click action here. On that reference, again, we are applying a click action, which gives the details of that particular mouse, which is the last mouse details or last but one mouse details, whatever it is, according to the logic here. Logic here we apply. I hope this is clear. This is the idea about find elements. I hope you should be very clear with this. And then what is the get method here? Maybe I would like to do a session on collections after this. Okay, once we discuss all this related to Selenium, we will just have a workshop on collections, friends. I'll announce that too as well. So that anything missing here on Java related stuff that we can cover it. But now, is this clear? I try to decode it as much as possible so that it makes you understand in the easiest way. Hope this is clear, friends. So let's run this automation now and observe. Already we ran this yesterday, but still to get an idea now. Now our focus is we have a better focus now. So if you run this automation now and observe, that gives us a better this thing on this automation. We have a better view on this automation. Sometimes, this website shows us this. You can close it again, stop this, again, rerun the automation. So what you do, rerun the automation, right click, run as, and then say Java application. It happens sometimes. It try to bring in the captcha because we are doing some recursive this thing, right? That's why. See, it's just taking time to load all those. And then now we pass mouse and then just enter that mouse thing. Again, it will wait for a few more seconds before it will try to enter on that mouse thing. Now it entered on that. It is able to locate it, right? Already load is done successfully. Now you can see here. This is the last web element. Sorry, last web. You can see the size of list is exactly 22. So what we see in the this one, if you see here, we searched for this, right? In the beginning also, when we try to apply that XPath pattern, we searched with that pattern in the web page. It shows that it has shown us, right? When we click on this and say inspect, see here, and try to search for this one. What is that for that mouse related images? It has given us a match of 22 matches. So same count you can see here in your code as well. When we try to apply size on list, a list is giving us a size of how much, friends? It is giving us 22, which is nothing but the exact matches we have observed here when we just searched with that XPath pattern. I hope you are clear. You remember, I believe we had a discussion on that as well, that there are 22 matches here. So even in code also we have the same thing, right? That's the idea, friends. So so I hope you are clear on this. So what is the process here? We try to locate all these mouses and then we try to get the details of last mouse image by applying what? By applying this. We try to find out here. We try to find out all mouse images details. And from that mouse images, we want the details of last mouse image. That's what this is doing. And then once we found that web element, we are asking to click on that. When we click on that image, automatically it will move to the next page. That's why another this thing is given here. So it has moved to the another window, another tab. Otherwise, you can see here, right? When we click on that mouse image, it has again created a new page here, and that details are shown here, right? That's the idea, friends. Hope you are clear with this now. Now you should be familiar with many things. What is it? You should be familiar with find elements. Hope you got a clear idea about it, friends. So that is one thing. Second thing about what is it about? You also got some a quick understanding about list related thing. What is this get method? What it takes. and then how list looks inside, right? How to extract elements from list, like get method. Here we apply get it, get the elements from the list. That's it. So that's the idea, friends. So now what do? We are done with this. So whatever I want to discuss, so we are able to cover all different types of weights. You can see here. So we got a clear idea about implicit, explicit, and fluent weight. The difference between these three is what? This is default, which is nothing but you don't need to any specify anything explicitly except that duration. Explicit weight we need to specify. This is applied to a specific web element, and a little extra parameterization is required for explicit weight. And fluent weight requires a pole frequency. That's the idea. And coming to this thing, so now you got some idea about find element and find elements. These are all very popular interview questions, friends. So try to get a clear idea about it. Okay. So I hope, but I believe you are clear on this now. Right. Next one. After this is, I would like to jump to next topic. What is that topic? I would like to discuss about this scroll automation. I'll run first. What we do is, let's just try to uh, run the automation and show you. Later on, I'll try to explain how this scroll automation works, how to implement this. And these are a couple of simple steps here. See, the process is always same. By now, at least we did some 30 to 35 sessions on Selenium. From the beginning to now, you understood one thing. Anywhere, the first thing is applying locating strategies. Once you are really familiar with locating strategies, all other things are just matter of just applying few methods. That's all, friends. Nothing more than that, right? So this is a simple scroll strategy. So what scroll strategy does? Suppose this is the web page. Let us go to the Amazon again. Now close this. We don't need this. So go down. Go to the footer. At the footer, you have some language here. Now I want to get this language details. If I hover on this, it is just showing all this, right? And then when we select something, when I click on it, it try to get to that language settings page. So the point is, by default, whenever we go to a web page, whenever we visit a web page, by default, it shows us the header part or the upper part of the web page. And by default, it won't scroll to the bottom. But in case, if you want to apply any automation which needs scrolling to the bottom or to the middle or some other place of your web page, then what is it? This scrolling automation is one of the best choice. And it is a simple thing. Again, see, these are all something which you know till this, till action, even action class you are familiar now. So action class has many this different types of actions we apply, like click action or you know many things like move to or many things. Right, that is fine. Now, what we are doing in the automation, it's a simple thing here. We are not doing really a challenging this thing here. So whenever we try to go to a web page, visit a web page, and if you want to go to some particular area of web page, if you want, you can see here, if I want to go to the bottom or to the footer, I'm scrolling. And if this scrolling automation should be implemented, then we need some automation for scrolling in the code. And that is nothing but you can see there is a scroll related methods here. You can see what is it? Scroll to element, scroll by amount. These two are very important. Scroll to means to which part of web page you want to scroll, to which web element you want to scroll. So here, my web element is this language settings, this thing. So that's what we are trying to locate here. You can see here footer. We are going to the footer. In that footer, precisely which one I want to locate? I want to locate. See here, right click and say this. And if you say that, you can see somewhere. You can see somewhere this one. This particular thing we need to locate. You can see NAV active or something. I hope this is clear now. So that is what this is. So if you just take this pattern, see here. First of all, again, the primary thing in any automation is applying locating strategy, finding out that type web element. Later on, applying these methods is a simple thing. Now, what you do, I'm just giving you the background, friends, because if I try directly just run the automation and just show you, That might appear like we understood, but again, it is a confusion. So that's why what we are doing now, we are trying to have a first a pre-analysis on what we are doing here. So here, if you see, just take this pattern here because this is already I did a analysis on this and put this pattern here. Now you can see here. Maybe you can remove this quote here. Now this is somewhere here, whatever you want. When we put our cursor here, it is highlighting this particular web element here, this language web element. You can see here, if you put here, that particular division is getting highlighted. So that is what we want here, friends. I hope this is clear. So to now on this, we need to apply what? Scrolling. So now what we do, comment all this first. Let's go one by one. So let's go one by one. It would be easy for you to understand if we do like this, right? And this code is another session, another scenario for about keyboard events that we discuss tomorrow. Till this, just have an idea about locating. What is it? Locating your footer part. What is it? This particular till this. What is this? Till this one. This whole code is nothing but locating the footer. Now we want to go to the footer and apply scrolling. What is that we need? We need to apply scrolling to the footer. Suppose you are at the beginning of your web page, like at the upper part of your web page. Now we want to scroll to the footer. Now you want to apply some automation on this. So we are applying a scroll automation here. Like we did so many automations so far. We did drag and drop. We did drop down list or many other web elements automation. And this is one kind of automation in that. So till this should be fine, right? This just locates your what, friends, locates your footer. That's all. Maybe let's run this now. After locating what you are applying action, anyhow, actions class we had discussed earlier. What is this action class? Why should we create actions object? And on these actions we are applying the scroll to element. Which element we are asking? We are asking to scroll to language footer. Language footer means to the bottom of that Amazon website. And then build dot perform, obviously this is required every time when you try to apply any actions, right? Without this, it won't work, right? Which one? This automation don't work. Action doesn't work. So this, when you look at this statement, does it really have any challenge to understand? I don't think so. Why? Actions dot scroll to element means you are clearly saying, hey, you just try to scroll to that element. That's all right. So which element? Again, there is a question that we are passing here. That is whatever that is method is asking that we are passing. Go to this particular location, which is language footer. Where is that language footer? That language footer is in this division where somewhere that division identified with the NAV footer line. So we are saying that as well. We are giving clear details. Now when we run this again, close this automate all this because this is not needed now. So what I do is let's comment all this code first for time being. Tomorrow we'll talk about these things, right? So let's run this now. Now you can see our automation automatically go to what it try to locate the footer part, and then that footer automatically takes us to the automatically what? Sorry, not that footer. Our automation automatically takes us to the footer. Scroll to the footer part as we applied the scroll automation here, right? Let us try to run this automation and observe that. I hope this should be clear for you, friends. You should be very clear if I am not wrong. Any questions? Any doubts on this? Can you please confirm? Is this clear for all of you, friends? Can you please confirm? Is this clear for all of you? I don't know if I am able to hear. I get this. Get your comment. I'm not receiving your comments in the chat. Can I get any gesture?
Clear.
Okay, okay. Right. Let's run this automation. Let's run this automation and try to get a view of this. See here. Apply. I put a lot of waiting time here, like 2 seconds here, 5 seconds here, 5 seconds. This we can remove. I believe we don't need this. This is not needed. Even this is also not needed. For time being, we can remove it. Later on, we can add it. So let's see how this crawl automation works. And again, tomorrow we have few more things to discuss that we'll talk about in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow instance Monday. Close it, again rerun, because sometimes this happens because this website might think we are applying a bot kind of this thing. So we ran to the website, and then what we are doing now, you can see now we came. Let's run it again. Seems like I didn't see it moving to the footer. Let us just rerun again. And also what we do, we have, let me put it a 5 second this thing here. Okay, run it, run as Java application. We can close it again, rerun the automation. Also, we can stop the automation, not needed again. Okay, no problem. Right click. Sorry. Right click, run as Java application. This is scroll automation. Now we have automation started. Web page loaded. It has to go to the bottom of the. Oh, again we have a blocker. No problem. That blocker doesn't have big problem for us. So right click, run as Java application. Now we are able to successfully get to this. Now you can see a scrolling should be done to the bottom of the C. Now it has moved to the this one you can see here. So what it does, it has gone to the bottom of the web page, and somewhere you can see that photo, that whatever this is showing, actually it is visible to me. Clear now, friends? Right. So this is the idea about do we need written type? I think I got your question now, Shankar. I told you, right, there is a sync problem between the my chart and the your this thing. This doesn't return anything. It's just a condition thing. Okay, applying some certain conditions. Shankar, probably it might return true or false if I'm not wrong. That you can just assign to some boolean and see if it is taking. Then it seems like it will work. As far as I understand, I know this is not needed. This doesn't return anything here. Is that clear? Assertions usually used to apply some conditions so that we can manage the code well. Not sure if you are getting me, Shankar. Right. So that's about today. So you got it right. You are able to see the automation, right? Observe that moving to the footer, that scrolling applied to the and applying that scroller and moving to the footer thing. You have observed it, right? Maybe if you want, I can run one more time and then we can stop this session for today. See here. So this is at the beginning. Now it will apply automation, that scroll automation. It will move to the bottom of the. You can see there. We have moved to the bottom. This window is covering that this thing, so we are not able to see that language thing, but language thing is also there in that footer itself. Okay, so that's the idea. So the automation have been successfully applied and the scroll has been implemented. So that's it for today, friends. I hope all of you are clear with this. So what we do tomorrow, we try to get more understanding on scrolls, and we also get some idea about few more keyboard I mean actions, like up and down actions, all that. So, and then also we try to understand few more automation related stuff, that frame automations, iframe, all that. So that's it, friends. Hope we can catch up on Monday again. Okay, if I am occupied with anything, then only I try to take break from sessions. Otherwise, we no nothing like that, friends. Okay, thank you. catch up again on Monday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Today's code. Can you hear me?